Elaine Silan, and I am currently the customer success lead for Acentrik under Mercedes-Benz Singapore. So Acentrik started with the idea of how we can leverage the emerging technology of blockchain in order to address certain problems on the data exchange in enterprises. And coming in from an enterprise, we are well aware of the pain points and the challenges surrounding data exchange. So that's how we really decided to leverage on Ocean's tech stack, right? So we had a clear focus in mind, and that is to have a secured and verifiable data exchange between enterprises. So along with the new features that we built or helped build on top of the tech stack and layering it with our web portal, marketplace, and the platform management console, right? We also made sure to still cover the enterprise processes and undergo through proper legal and compliance assessments, covering PDPA, being based in Singapore, and also GDPR as a product operating under Mercedes-Benz, and along with proper KYB process for onboarding. So now let's go through like the top two layers that you see from this diagram and what Acentrik has brought to the table. Yeah. So first, let's talk about the features of Acentrik's global data market. Yeah. So the engineers of Acentrik have closely collaborated with the Ocean team in order to build enterprise-centric features for the marketplace. So some of them, like for example, the fine-grained permissions, were co-developed by our team and was also later on adapted into the main Ocean market. So other features that we have initiated and really advocated for that is already available in Acentrik's marketplace include the usage of enterprise smart contracts, for example. The ability to define parameters to your API type dataset and add HTTP headers, for example. And the ability to directly transfer the earnings to a revenue account and not just via a claim process. And ability to use stablecoins as a mode of payment, among many others, right? So in addition, Acentrik, given that Acentrik also utilizes business email addresses on top of Web3 wallet authentication, we really needed to have a way to manage this information. Hence, Acentrik has built a platform management console, where the admin of the marketplace can manage this information, manage enterprise contracts and respective user accounts, including their associated wallets and roles. Yeah. So in the next slide, I'll be talking more about the distributed architecture and how edge nodes are utilized in a B2B market. So as an enterprise-centric global data market, Acentrik promotes the use of distributed architecture for enterprises. Usually, bigger corporates would never have their data assets exposed in a publicly accessible endpoint, right? But through a simple Kubernetes container setup within a data provider's environment, which we refer to as edge nodes in Acentrik. Probably in the Ocean community, it's more known as the provider component. So they can connect their private data asset endpoint on one end and Acentrik on the other end. So this thing ensures that there is a complete data sovereignty for a data provider, right? Because the data stays within their own environment. And in cases of computed data, it gets processed and computed within their own edge computing infrastructure as well. So this entire marketplace architecture setup of Acentrik has also been reviewed and certified by AWS, having fulfilled the security and safety pillars of the well-architected framework. So making Acentrik also an official AWS partner. So aside from that, applying also the tokenization capability that natively comes from the Ocean stack, it takes data sovereignty one step further by allowing data owner to have full control and ownership of their data assets in the marketplace via the asset management token, which is the ERC721 token standard. So at the same time, data owners also in Acentrik can get to decide who should have or should not have access to their data set. And that's the main reason why we built the fine-grained permissions, right? Because it's important to understand how an enterprise user will utilize the marketplace. Yeah. So within an organization, you probably have a group of people, right? But among these people, maybe only one person, yeah, should have access to be a data provider or right as a data consumer, right? But maybe this person should not also be allowed to use his personal wallet and should only be using their corporate Web3 wallet, right? So this is where RBAC comes into picture. Yeah. So within Acentrik, marketplace rules, which could either be a provider role, a consumer role, maybe both, right? Or a user read-only role, can be tagged to a combination of user profile and wallet. And at the same time, yeah, asset level permissions are also possible. Yeah. Because data providers can add email domain or a wallet address in their allow or deny list. Yeah. So this can later on also be extended to other credential types. Yeah. For example, in the future. For example, maybe based on a country or based in the industry. And that is possible because all of the participants in the marketplace are known to us. Right? Now we're talking about the second layer, the enterprise processes. Yeah. So to ensure that the legal and security aspects of being a participant in a business to business or B2B marketplace, we have introduced the enterprise agreement to our process, which is basically a legal document between, that cover a legal document that covers the terms and conditions and obligations, not only of the enterprise customer, right? But also of Acentrik as a platform. Yeah. So this is then signed by authorized signatories between Mercedes-Benz Singapore as Accentrik's parent company and the enterprise. Yeah. So in addition to that, to also comply with AML regulations, yeah, we have a wallet screening process in place. Yeah. So we use a certain tool that scans through a wallet's transaction even before the marketplace permissions are granted. Yeah, so we use the same tool for continuous monitoring as well to make sure that the wallet that is used in our marketplace doesn't associate with illegal or suspicious activities, that can later cause troubles. Yeah. So, of course, we know that SSI or self-sovereign identities is something that we want to look at in the future, that we are currently looking at, So, of course, especially when the demand arises. With all that being said, so Acentrik is one horizontal technology across multiple industries. Yeah, so let's take, for example, within the mobility and supply chain industry, right? So vehicles in the market, usually they would collect sensor data that alerts you of road conditions or hazards within a defined regions. Right. A logistics company can take this information, combine it with their, let's say, scheduling algorithm, right, in order to plan for optimal routes for delivery or for cost efficiency. Yeah, and that is just one of the many possible use cases that we have for a cross-industry data exchange. So I'd like to close this presentation by saying that Acentrik is not just a data marketplace. Sure, you can publish and consume data like any other market, but does it provide the flexibility of making data more accessible? Does it ensure that sovereignty and privacy is there for the data owner? And is it secure and verifiable? So the answer is yes. And what we have here is not just a data marketplace, it's the future of the data exchange. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening to that presentation. We also invite you to explore the marketplace via our website and also connect with us in LinkedIn for future events and updates. Thank you.